Hey everyone, Skull902 back here for another lovely trip into the Let's Playing world with part 2 of my Super Mario Land playthrough. This is going to be the finale. We got the second half of the game going on right now. We are in World 3, which features a bunch of asshole fucking ambushing Moai head motherfuckers. One's right about to come up actually, and that's one of the things that I forgot to mention about like my first experiences playing this game last time. These Moai heads aren't the ones that I'm talking about, but like when I first started playing Super Mario Land, these guys were like I don't know, they were like the worst enemies, and I really could not make it past this level for the longest time. It took some good practice on my GBASP, I should say. Here it is, motherfucker. But no, it took some hardcore practice to be like able to make it past this level, and I think the furthest I ever got when I was playing it on a Game Boy was 4-1. I think I made it to the fourth world, and then I didn't get any further until I started playing this on an emulator, but anyway, so aside from that, there are like some corrections and clarifications that I want to make for some stuff that I said in part 1. And I would like to apologize, like, first and foremost, if you know, I've sounded really rambly since I've come back. Like, I'm still trying to get used to recording these commentaries again, so I know it's not going to be perfect, and I don't do it as often as I would really like to, but you know, just try to bear with me. I am trying to get back into it, so I have some notes written down to give myself a little you know, guide on the corrections and stuff that I want to make about this game. So like, there are two enemies that I forgot to mention that were, like, of the few Mario 1 holdovers. Piranha plants, which are called Pakun flowers, I believe, in Japan and this game, are in there. But honestly, they look so different that I think maybe it's excusable that I forgot about them. And then there are also bullet bills, which we're seeing in this level. They are called Gira in this game. I don't know about the series as a whole in Japan, but I believe they're called Gira in this game. So I forgot to mention that. And then I didn't mention any of the original names for like the enemies either. So in this game, Goombas are called Chibibo, because like in Japan, Goombas are called Karibos in all the other games except for this one, and I guess that's because like they're, you know, smaller than your average Goomba. The Koopa Troopas are called Nokobans in this one, and I believe that has something to do with the bombshell on their back and how they explode when you stomp on them. When the game was released on the Virtual Console in North America in 2011, Nintendo actually took the time to like edit the text for the game manual to change some of the names. So we have Goombos for Goombas. We have Bullet Biffs for Bullet Bills, both of which presumably because they're smaller than they usually would be in the Mario series. And then of course we also have the Bombshell Koopas as well. So you know, interesting that they did bother to change that. It's not actually a change that they made to the European Virtual Console release, so only here, which is kind of weird, but whatever. And then of course, I also wanted to mention like the names of all the worlds, because I didn't get like too deep into that. So the first world, which is based off of Egypt, is called the Birabudo Kingdom. It should be Pirapudo, but apparently there was a translation error that someone saw from like the Japanese text. which I think is pretty interesting, though they avoided putting in a Spanish swear word with the incorrect translation. So I guess that's something that would be like a bit of a saving grace. Then based on Bermuda is the Muda Kingdom. This world, based on Easter Island, is called the Eastern Kingdom. And then the fourth world is based on China and is called the Chai Kingdom. Now, isn't that a little weird? Like, all of these places are considered a part of Sarasaland. And Princess Daisy is the ruler of Sarasaland, but they're all called kingdoms, like the 4 different sections. So, what I'm going to presume is that, like, Sarasaland is, like, the United Kingdom of the Mario universe. where it's, like, 4 countries merged in whatever ways to become, like, a super country. I don't know how that quite works out. But the analogy actually works out pretty well, because then we could compare the Mushroom Kingdom to the United States, because like that's the one that I think like everyone in the Mario universe has their eyes on, and is like up to the most scrutiny, I think, of of all the countries. So maybe it works out that way. Who knows? I don't think that was anyone's intention, but it's interesting to think about, to make that sort of analogy about the worlds in Mario, the various different locations. Can't think about any for Canada, though. The, like, one that's not really terribly different, so a lot of people kind of forget about it. That's no disrespect to any Canadians, by the way. It's just sometimes people don't pay attention to Canada. So if that's a message that I can give out here in this video today, is give Canada some more love. They need it. But anyway, now I would like to go on a little bit about the recording for this LP, because I think that might make for an interesting story. So before I recorded this, I'd only ever beaten the game once. And that was like sometime last summer. So, you know, it had been a little while since I last played the game. And so, like, I knew what my strategy was. You know, it was to get like as many lives as I possibly could, because I knew like shit like what just happened is, you know, gonna go on, that I have to make a shitload of jump cuts, or not jump cuts, crossfades in here to edit out all the deaths. I knew I was gonna die a lot, basically. In fact, there are 16, if I'm not mistaken, there are 16 fucking how should I put it, crossfades. I can't believe I forgot that so soon. There are 16 crossfades, I believe, in the entire playthrough. So that's a little trivia for you. Anyway, I'm going on a tangent. So I knew I was gonna die a lot, and I knew what my plan was. You know, I was able to go and get most of the top exits in this game, so I wasn't so worried about that. And, like, I figured that I could do it because I was so used to Mario's gameplay. Like, I played Mario way more than I played any other video game series or, you know, whatever, when I was a child. Like, I am so used to the Mario gameplay that, like, I barely would need practice for a Mario game, for the most part. Like, Mario 3 being an exception because I'm not so familiar with the later worlds. But no, I thought it was going to be all big and cool, you know, be able to do this no problem, and, oh boy. I actually did better in the early goings, aside from a death in World 1, in my original recording attempt. And, like, I don't know what the hell happened, but, you know, it's just a case of the same sort of thing around here. Where I just, you know, keep dying later on. And I think maybe it was nervousness, but, like, the LP curse got to me super bad in 4-3, which is another shmup sort of thing. So, like, I wasn't so used to that aspect of this game, since most levels are just, you know, traditional Mario platforming. So, like, 100,000 points in this game is a continue, and I had 2 continues up to that point, and, like, I just fell apart during 4-3. Like, I had 6 lives, I believe, wasted all of those. 0 counts as a life as well, so technically I guess I had 7. But I ran through those, trying to fight the last boss, and then, like, my first game over came, and, I barely managed to get to the last boss on my, like, second game, and then I got a game over there as well, and, like, I was so pissed off, at my, poor performance, that, like, for my third game after my second continue, like, I didn't even make it, to the boss, like, nowhere close to the boss. So that was a bit embarrassing, and that, like, essentially that run turned out to be a practice run. I tried to record the LP proper, and nope, it just didn't work. So the next day, I recorded this run the next day, so thankfully I was able to make it, and I didn't get a game over or anything, so I guess I did better in like the later goings than the day before, which is, you know, thank God for that, because Jesus Christ, you know. But it came after, like, I asked Josh for good luck recording this, like, when we were hanging up from a call on Discord, and you know, he wished me good luck like a good friend, and it worked. So big thanks to Josh for wishing me good luck, and it clearly, this Let's Play is all his doing. It's all his magic. His encouragement made this LP possible. So, good on ya, Josh. Good on ya. Good on ya, Mr. Man. So anyway, good time to talk about these enemies now, or just like a whole bunch of them. You've been seeing them throughout this level. I don't remember if they're in the next one. I guess we're about to find out. But those enemies are called the Pyonpi, and they're based on, like, this Chinese legend, or like like a monster from, like, ancient Chinese folklore, called the Jiangshi, and they're like a cross between zombies and vampires, which sounds fucking cool, by the way. They're interesting. They're like the most OP enemies in the game. Like, they're probably, like, of all the mooks in or mooks, or however you want to pronounce that, in the Mario franchise, they're probably, like, the most intimidating ones, because like, they can only ever be killed with a Super Ball. You jump on them, and, like, they're only temporarily stunned from that, you know? So they're tough enemies to get by, for sure, and it's just, you know, it's tough to get past them, and they're right motherfuckers. Though I would much rather face up against one of those than the fucking Moai head dude that ambushes you. Like, seriously, fuck that guy. That dude can go rot in hell for all I care. So, you know. Another thing that I wanted to talk about, as far as this LP goes, is like, when the Game Boy launched, there was this commercial that had, like, a robot dude challenging, like, this kid, or maybe he was a teenager, I don't fucking know. But he challenged this guy, and, like, they played a 2-player game. I don't know what game they depicted. I don't know if, like, Tetris had a 2-player thing at the time, or, well, on the Game Boy version. Anyway, but that was to advertise the link cable, like the possibility of playing 2-player games on the Game Boy. Now, even though, like, it had been the franchise's status quo up to this point, there is actually no two-player mode for this game, and I think it would have been interesting to implement with the link cable. Though maybe they were on a time crunch or something along those lines. So this may be the first Super Mario Brothers game where there is no Luigi, and that's more than likely why they took Brothers out of the title. So Luigi is just not in this game. He's taking a vacation or something, I guess. Though there was a funny fan theory that I saw in TV Tropes that's like, some people have speculated that since Princess Daisy is the damsel in this game, that Luigi is going around disguised as Mario. So I guess if that's what you want to believe, then this is really Luigi and he's just pretending to be Mario. Fucking weird. But that's pretty much this game's, like, you know, it's this game's style to be weird, so I don't know. My personal theory is because I'm going to be a masochist and play Super Mario Lost Levels with Luigi instead of Mario, that Mario is here in Sarasaland, you know, taking care of the Daisy situation, while Luigi, meanwhile, is in the Mushroom Kingdom, saving Peach. So there we go. There's a headcanon fan theory for you. So there we are. Super Mario Land and the Luigi game for Lost Levels. Those are what are canon. That was a weird way of putting it. Those are what's canon. And I will not accept anything else unless if it's much better than what I proposed, and it probably is. So that's it about the two-player. I guess one other thing I can mention is how one-ups in this game are hearts, and that's because of the Game Boy's limited color palette and how small the sprites are. So they couldn't do two different types of mushrooms. That was pretty short. But it's another little tidbit, you know, to help me out with the commentary and whatnot. So, I really should have written the fucking guy's name down, but the boss that we're about to fight is like this cloud dude, and I guess there was a little lore for the cloud dude. That's what his name is now. Is Cloud Dude. That apparently, like, this boss is, like, so shy that his body is hidden in the cloud and no one has ever seen his actual body. Though there's, again, it's some fan speculation, but there's some speculation that this guy is actually the final boss, the main villain of Mario Land, Tatanga, who has kidnapped Princess Daisy. So maybe that's it. You know, there's a bit of info in the manual that, like, Tatanga first came out to attack Sarasaland in a cloud. So there's some evidence pointing to that theory. So this is the final boss. That's right. This game ends with a shmup. And my advice for this is to look at the spread of Tatanga's projectiles, not at, like, Mario or Tatanga. You've got to be able to see those projectiles to know which ones to dodge. So I guess you would have to look at Mario a bit. But just don't pay any mind to Tatanga. Just look at the projectiles he's shooting, and you'll be okay. And you'll save Princess Daisy. Blah. You'll save Princess Daisy. I don't know why I fucked up saying her name there. And your quest will be over. So, you know, Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer due. I'm half crazy, all for the love of you. It won't be a stylish marriage. I cannot afford a carriage, but you'll look sweet upon the seat of a spaceship, not a biplane, built for two. I'm sorry, Josh, you didn't deserve that. Another reference to our Super Mario Land playthrough on Super Chaos Comms. So that one was much better than this. Please go watch that instead. But no. So that's our game. Super Mario Land is definitely an interesting one. I don't know if you could tell from my commentary, but it is strange. It is weird. And And, like, the physics are a little weird and wonky, but if you can get used to them, I do think that this is, like, a worthwhile experience to play. You know, if you've got, like, 40 minutes, 30 minutes, 50 minutes, however long, you know, then this one is a worthwhile play. It's, you know, Mario's first handheld adventure, so you gotta keep that in mind, but, it's fine, you know? It's a real fine game. They did a good job making it, which is, you know, all the more impressive because Miyamoto, aside from the creation of the Mario characters, had nothing to do with this game. So it didn't have, like, any of his influence, but they were able to make, like, a worthy successor to his Mario games. And you know what? That's pretty cool. Just like this end credits theme. So, yeah. That's about all I have to say about Super Mario Land. Thank you all for watching. I've been Skull902, and have yourselves a wonderful day. There will be more Mario next week, so stay tuned, unless if you hate me and my videos, which is understandable. So, yeah. See you guys later.